We have a question that says, how can you make a great impact as a leader in your own field without looking at another who may have the same qualities you have? I guess that means like focusing on competition and looking at others. How can you make an impact as a leader in your field without being distracted, I would say, by someone else who may have the same qualities?
I don't think you need to be distracted by anyone that has the same qualities because they may have the same qualities, but they don't have the same measure. They don't have the same measure. I do think that you can be inspired by people who have gone further than you in your field, which is called mentoring. And when you find somebody who is doing what you want to do better, the more times you get to be around them, to hear them, to see how they do, to observe not just what is happening, but how it's happening, you are being mentored and you want to be mentored by them and then take those skill sets and adapt it to your vision. Two words I want to speak in answer to that. One is mentoring and the other one is modeling. Whenever somebody mentors you, it's through them and your relationship with them and your proximity to them and how they can help you get more clarity on the process. But there's also modeling. Two things ought to be happening in this room right now. One, you ought to be getting what is happening on the stage, as much content as you came, because you didn't come to be entertained, you came to be educated and inspired. And so you ought to be learning and jotting down and taking notes and figuring out how you can go back and work what you're learning so that you make this trip the most profitable trip in your life. But there is a subliminal class going on here that Bishop Williams has modeled for us. He's mentoring out of his mouth, but he's modeling in the fact that he let us come in the room and you ought to watch how he did it and watch how he entertained the president and watch the order and the structure and the way the thing was done. You can learn as much from watching the way the thing is done as you do learning what was said on the stage.
That is so true. That is so true.
I wrote, the reason I'm so passionate about this, I don't have it with me, I apologize, it's not out yet, but I've written a book on entrepreneurship called SOAR, SOAR, SOAR. It'll be coming out October the 10th. But in the book, I begin to talk about the Wright brothers in America who built the first successful aircraft. And I talk about how much failure they had before they had success. One of the things that really inspired me to make them the metaphor through which I am teaching entrepreneurship is that they built the first airplane in a bicycle shop.
Wow, I didn't know that.
They built it in a bicycle shop. They didn't have what they needed. And this is important to share with you. I'm so sorry. I wanted to have the book when I came. Most of us don't move forward because we say, I don't have what I need. You don't have what you need because you won't use what you have.
That is,
They built the first airplane in a bicycle shop. They took what they had and they used it. And they understood this, that building a business is not a destination. It's not enough to say, I have a business. A business is not a destination, it's transportation.
wow.
And when you start thinking of where you want to be in your life when you're 70, when you're 80, when you're 90, whatever the goal is, what you want to do in your area, in your city, that is the goal. The thing that separates a dream from a goal is a date. Until you put a deadline on it, it's a dream. And you can have a dream all your life.
That's
Dr.
right.
King died with a dream. It's wonderful to have a dream, but when you have a goal, it has a deadline on it. I'm going to do it in 2 years. In 5 years, I'm going to do this. In 2 years, I'm going to do that. I was just walking with Bishop Williams over this amazing facility. Isn't it amazing? Let's give him a big round of applause. Absolutely amazing. And he's walking around calling things that are not as though they were. And I'm going to put this over there, Bishop. I'm going to put that over there. And in 2 years, I'm going to put this over here. He has deadlines. He has goals. He has visions. And he's walking around with a plan. He was not talking to me about what was finished. He was talking to me about what was next. A good leader doesn't focus on what is, you are focusing on what will be. Because until you focus on what will be, you won't understand how what is, what you are doing right now, fits into what will be. And I'm going to say this because this may help somebody. It is not where you're going that's going to give you the most trouble. It is what are you willing to leave behind to get there. You cannot be who you were and who you're going to be at the same time. So, what are you willing to let go of so you can get to where you are trying to go? They started the airplane in a bicycle shop, and now we're flying all over the world because somebody took a dream, made it into a goal, had a deadline, and kept meeting it and building it until it became everything they wanted it to be.
Wow.